Good day and welcome. I would like to share a little message with you today. And the message is rather complicated because it has to do with our faith, our Catholic faith. And to understand that at the beginning, the root of our faith, the foundation, is the Old Testament, the Jewish religion. And then in the fullness of time, God sent his Son, Jesus, who established the Catholic Church, the Catholic faith. Its foundation was the Jewish, but now it's the Catholic faith. And he suffered, died, and rose from the dead on the third day, the resurrection, and ascended to the Father. And he founded his church. The church is the only church founded by God. It's the only church founded by God. And over time, it prospered. The first churches, as it were homes. Homes where people prayed, where people shared the whole story of Jesus Christ, where people witnessed. And again, at the beginning, people were martyred for their faith, for their belief in Jesus Christ, for their belief in what they called the way. It was the way that they believed. And again, they suffered for that, but they prospered. The church grew magnificently. And, was developed into the whole hierarchy, the whole structure. God is a God of order, always a God of order. And so the church grew, and the 13th century, the 1200s, they called it the glorious century of the church, the best century of the church. And so it went on, and it went on, and then it started to hit bumps and crevices on the way. Then we had the Great Reformation of 1517, when Martin Luther again wrote all the criticisms of the church on the cathedral at Wittenberg and founded his own church. He had remnants of the Catholic Church, but it was different. There was a sense. Now, some of the things that he wrote about were legitimate. Things were not right going on in the church. But Jesus promised the Spirit will be with you always. The Spirit will guide you to all truth. So many times the church has to sort of wrestle with these things that are not right and begin to restore the truth. And this is the reality. And then we had a whole split of different churches. And as we go on in the centuries, the church, as we know it, fragmented into so many different churches where they didn't have Eucharist, where they didn't have Scripture, where they had all sorts of different things. Way back when in the Chinese culture, the Tao, the principle, the moral principle, okay, they resemble a lot of the gospel teachings. And so do many of the other churches who've drifted away. Now, why is it that they've drifted so far away so that they can't come back? Are they set in their ways? Yes, I suppose they are, okay, but are they passing up? They're passing up the church. The church is teaching on the sacraments, the church is teaching on marriage, the church is teaching on moral conduct. That's really under attack today. It's under attack in a big way. And what do you call it? Ezekiel promises that he'll give them a new heart and a new spirit, so that they can begin to live what God has for them. Okay, what God has for them. He says it here in Ezekiel chapter 36. Okay, I will sprinkle clean water upon you, to cleanse you from all your iniquities and from all your idols. I will cleanse you. I will give you a new heart and place a new spirit within you, taking from your bodies your stony hearts and giving you natural hearts. I will put my spirit within you and make you live by my statutes, careful to observe my decrees. A new heart and a new spirit. And again, that comes to us, especially when we begin to see, well, we have something that unites us with the Catholic Church, and we have something that separates us. from the Catholic Church? Is it that great that we have to hold on to it and make sure that there is a wall between us and the Catholic Church? Is it possible that we all could become one, as Jesus prayed in John 17:21, that we might become one as he is in the Father and the Father is him, that they might become one in us? You know, there was a lot of mistakes made on both sides. On both sides, a lot of mistakes made. It's time for healing. It's time to take Jesus at his word, that he came to redeem all of us, and that we need to be in union with the church that Jesus founded, the Catholic Church. And yes, we can have many things that we can hold against them. We have the whole sex abuse just recently, and we have a sense of, that people are not living their faith. They're not living their faith. Young people have drifted away, but what have they drifted to? What have they drifted to? A natural religion or my own religion? I do it my way. And I'm afraid that's the truth. They're doing it their way, and they're going to suffer. They're going to suffer, especially for peace. They won't have peace in their hearts. Okay, they won't have peace in their hearts. They'll have a sense of, trying to match things up, trying to make sense of things. You cannot make sense of things without God. You cannot make sense of things without God. And, they say, let go and let God. I say, let God, and then you can let go. You can let go of really judgment, things of that sort. And we all have good reason. I remember myself, my father died when I was in the seminary. I was very upset with God over that. Very upset with God because God made a mistake. Now, here I am, a finite person, talking about an infinite person who made a mistake. If I love God and love my Father, it's one and the same love. They have to come together. They have to come together, that love. And once I did that, I had peace. I had peace, but a greater sense of my Father's life. A greater sense of my Father's life. There's healing with Jesus Christ. Without Jesus Christ, there is no healing. There is no healing. And we're stupid enough, when we see the history, the human history where churches broke off, some of them, broke off out of anger, bitterness. Some of the founders, were not God. The founders were human beings, and yet they founded their church according to themselves, according to their philosophy, using some of what the Catholic Church already had. So there's a call. With the Chinese way back had very similar principles to the gospel. Why can they not be united now? Why can they not be united now? There's a call for unity, especially when we look at the way our nation, as Obama said, it's not a Christian nation anymore. Why not? Why not? It was founded as a Christian nation. As a matter of fact, George Washington had divine influences and divine apparitions, really, as he was the first president. And today, we need God more than ever before. We need the Lord. As it says in Psalm 14, I think, Psalm 46, unless the Lord build a house, they labor in vain who build it. Are we laboring in vain? Have we a sense that we can build our own house? We can build our own house, but we're building it on sand. And the storms will come, and they do come. We've witnessed it for the past 3 years, storms buffeting it and trying to destroy our church. I will be with you all days, even to the end of the world. God bless our Catholic Church.